Hi everyone, it's Haymaker11 here. I'm from Straya, which is Australia's premier AUTZ Newbro corporation. Happy to have anyone along and join us in our corporation. Our in-game channel is Fuck Yeah, as you can see on the left side there. Feel free to join that. Today we're going to be learning how to fit ships, and there are some basics that you need to know, but some stuff that we're going to make quite simple for you, hopefully. The first thing that's really good to know about where to actually find a ship you want to fly and what's really going to be fit for purpose is over on your left hand side here you'll see an icon over here, and this is the ship tree. Now if we click on that and zoom out for a second, you'll see that it actually lists all the ships in the game, and this isn't even all of them. This, as you can see at the top here, is just for the Galente Federation, which is the ships that I'm primarily trained in at the moment. Now if we look at each one of these ships, I'll pick one. This is perfect, the Algos. You actually notice there's a few things that this little window here tells you about just by hovering over it. Firstly, if you look up at the top here, it actually gives you some little bit of details about what is usually this ship is used for. So it's a small ship overall. It uses hybrid turrets, with Galente's gunnery. It's an attack ship. It has usually a bonus to armor, and it uses drones. And as you can see here, if we have Galente Destroyer bonuses, this means as a skill, we have a Galente Destroyer skill, you will get 10% to drone hit points and damage for level of that Galente Destroyer up to the maximum of level 5. The roll bonus, once you can fly the ship, means that you get that irrelevant of your skill level. Now today, for argument's sake, we're actually going to try find a different ship, because we have a Tristan is what we're using in Jita at the moment, but we want to try something for mining. So up the top here we can see that there's Amar, Kaldari, Galente and Mimitar being the 4 factions. Above that we have Ore, which is where mining ships are. We're going to skip that for the time being, and over here these are all other different types of pirate ships with their own bonuses. Let's go to the Ore. We'll notice here that this little symbol here means that unless you're an Omega pilot, you can't fly any of these other ships. I'm not an Omega pilot, but I am an Alpha pilot, which means I can fly a Venture. And as you can see here, the Venture gets a bonus to the mining frigate skill, and it will get 5% to mining yield, 5% reduction to gas cloud harvesting, and then there's also a roll bonus, which means that we're going to get 100% to the mining yield. And we also have a +2 to ship warp core strength, which means that if we're pointed by another ship, we can usually get away from it as long as warp core strength is less. So let's have a look at this ship. Now we can fly it, which is excellent. One of the other things that you could look at is the fittings here, and that sort of just tells you what is able to be fitted to the ships, what requirements, if you are unable to fly a ship, that you actually need to skill up to fly it. Masteries helps you define what skills are going to be best to help make this better in the long term. If we go to number 2 masteries here, we actually see that I have a missing area in resource harvesting. We go down here, mining upgrade. Is only level 2 at the moment, and we need level 3 to reach mastery. Don't get too carried away in that though. The important thing is fitting a ship that's fit for purpose and straight away. The variations really shows you what the next level of ship are, but since these are Omega ships, we're going to pass on them. So we know we need a Venture. Now the real question is, how do you fit a Venture, and how do you make it the right ship? Now I'm actually going to go back into shipping window because I did something silly there. We're going to right click on the ship, and one of the great things Eve has now on offer is the ability for you to simulate the ship, so you don't have to buy it before you can actually fit it. We'll close the ship tray, and we should have this ghost looking ship here, and this is a Venture. Now you'll see here that these are the areas where you can fit the ship. So up here, these are called the high slots, and they're usually used for weapons or turrets. Is the best way to describe them. Remote repping, if you're a logistics ship and you repair other ships. The mediums are utility slots for the most part. Unless you're a shield fit ship, then your shield defense also goes in this area. And your bottom is also utility, but is usually used for armor in this space. And over here you have rig slots. Rigs are things that enhance your ship, and there are many different rigs that can enhance many different ways. Go from something to increase damage, to increase mining yield, to help drones out, to make your ship faster, slower, increase your power or CPU. There's endless opportunities for you to use your rigs to your advantage. Some other things to point out is down on the bottom left and right hand corner here, we actually have cargo hold, your drone bay, so if you're able to fit drones or not. And then over here, these are the things that actually limit what you're able to fit or not. That's your CPU and your power grid. And on the right hand side here, as you can see, is your ability to really see about your ship stats. So what fit do we use? Now at Straya, lucky for us, we've actually created some fits for all our new players to pick and use. So if we look at Venture, we actually have a great Venture fit already set up to. I'll run you through that quickly. So what it includes is, click on this because it'll bring it up in a nice, easy. There we go. So this includes that fit there. Pause the screen now if you just like to buy it and head off. But let's continue. So let's say we didn't have a fit at all. We're just talking about adventure. So under these circumstances, what we do is really think about, well, what are we trying to mine to start with? And if you don't know that, usually you'll start with ore or ice. Avenger can do gas harvesting, but that's in wormholes. Now I find the best place to get a really good idea of some great fits is a place called zkillboard.com. Now this website actually stores all the deaths of characters in the game live at all the time. It's fantastic for you to get resources. Now if we type in here Venture, we're actually going to be able to see all the Venture kills from basically the existence of the game. As you can see, in a mining ship, of course you expect a lot of deaths. But what you're able to see here is looking at the fits, maybe some good ones that are going to suit you. So if we look over here and let's just pick something quite basic and cheap, 450,000, this seems cheap as. Now this guy hasn't actually fitted everything, but what he's done is he's gone for something that's very functional and just mines. So up here, he has his mining lasers, and then over here, he has his mining laser upgrade. I'm not too interested in this fit because I like my ship to be fitted out properly. Let's have a look at something else. Let's go down to maybe, here's 20 million, that's a bit expensive. There's nothing even in there. Yeah. No one likes fitting out their ventures. What is this? Nope, not. What venture used for? Here we go. Finally, a perfect example of someone who's fit out. So over here, we actually have someone who has a gas cloud harvester. Now keep in mind these things can sort of be substituted out, so it gives you a rough idea of what to use. He then has a cloaking device to make sure they cloak really quickly. And then there's also some capacitor upgrade. You can use this capacitor for longer. Over here we have a warp core stabilizer that actually enhances his warp core stability by 1 again, so he would have +3 on this ship. Then you have a micro warp drive, a sensor boost, and a medium shield extender. That gives us a pretty good idea of what we want to do, and we've had a look at some other things. Now let's go back to our little ship over here and let's play. So this is the area where we can start to search the hardware for things we want to fit to the ship. We're looking at harvesting equipment at the moment, and one of the basic things we're going to start with is mining lasers. We'll get better at this over time. It's really a matter of just looking at fits and working out where you. So keep in mind when you're looking at all these options here, the mining lasers, the best way to determine what's going to be right for you is heading over to the information panel here. And under variations, you'll see that there's many different types of this little mining laser. If you go compare, one of the things that I like to do straight away is open this up and then make it sort by meta level. Meta level is sort of how good usually an item is. And what we really want to look at if you're looking at our mining laser is obviously how much the mining amount is. And as you can see here, it starts off with a civilian mine. It's only 6M3, which is pretty pathetic. We have miner 1 all the way up to miner 2. Now if we look at miner 2, are we able to use that yet? We're not actually able to use that, unfortunately. And I did that by just clicking right click and show info. Now anything that's not Tech 2 with this little area here is classified as Tech 1 and all requires the same skills. So we're able to pick from any of these. As you can see, there are 2 here with 50M3, which is 10 better than just the standard miner 1. So what's the real difference here? If we look at optimal range, bang, all of a sudden we see that this one's 16 kilometers, which means we can shoot an asteroid from 16 kilometers away. And we can also look at power grid, CPU, and really decide what's best from there. So I think we've sort of decided that the EPS, EP-S is the best, so we're going to fit 2 of those to this ship. Now I know that there's also a mining upgrade that we can fit to this. Once again, we're going to close this first, otherwise it duplicates things. Go to variations, compare. Now this one's quite easy because there's only 2. So we're going to check this one out. Now if I'm not mistaken, this is actually a very expensive module, 21 million. So sometimes you have to play that price game to see if it's worth it or not. And for example, things with these green tags next to them, there's also blue, which is dead space, and purple, which is officer, super rare stuff. These things can go up exponentially to the point where you're paying billions and billions of ISK for one module. Now here we're just going to use our mining laser 1 just because of the price constraints on this. Now all of a sudden we have a bit of a setup here. We could actually go out now and theoretically mine, but we want some defense on our ship and to really make it worth while. So we're going to look at some things like shield, because we have 3 slots here and shield uses those medium mid slots. We're going to look at extenders. Extenders are those things that really make your shield a lot larger. Once again, look in here, compare. I'm going to close that first, recompare, meta level, and look at the shield hit points. Medium FTAC S9, unless I can use the shield extender small. I can't, unfortunately, so let's look at this one here. We can use that. I think that's going to be our best bet. Let's look at the FTAC S9. We're going to get some speed on this ship as well. Look at propulsion, a micro warp drive. These all require different skills, and as you can see down the bottom right hand corner here, it's actually changing depending on what we have available to us. So I'm going to make this a little bit quick because downtime's upon us. I'm going to select the one that uses the least of these. And finally, I'm going to give us something that uses a little bit of extra sensor boosting, which means we're able to target things a lot faster. And I know this is called a sensor booster. Perfect. As you can see, we've actually come out with space available on our CPU and power grid, which is fantastic. One thing that we want probably is for defense. So if I unclick this, you can actually see these areas are for different things as well. So if I'm just looking at drones, which is what we want at the moment, I'll clear the search. We're on combat drones, light drones, and I know that we can use some hobgoblins, and that takes up 5 of our space here. And I might use an acolyte as well, just to give us a little bit of extra. You can see over here in the right hand corner, we've actually gone up and we now have 23.4 DPS. Not much admittedly when you consider that there are ships in this game that can go up to 1,000, but it'll be enough to get rid of some basic computer rats or NPCs that will be upon you. So this is a really basic fit and guide. There are things that you can do in this rig slot as well to improve our ship, but I think we've got a basic venture. Again, because we're very lucky and fortunate in Australia, we have the ability to already have a pre-fit ship, and as you can see, we've actually got some things that help our shield a little bit more than the standard stuff that's here. So with that, I'm going to leave you guys go as downtime comes upon us. Don't forget to join us in our in-game channel, Fuck Yeah, as you can see in the red text on the left side here. And I hope if you're an Australian time zone player, we'll play with you soon. Thanks and fly safe.